Hello, lovelies. This is a second try for Weird Church in the Woods to go in December 2022 without music. So the music on the other track sort of took away access to my voice, so no music on this one. So welcome to Weird Church in the Woods to go. You are welcome to do this inside or outside, wherever you are, whether you want to be moving across the land or you find yourself in a stationary position at home or somewhere else curled up with a nice blankie. There's no prerequisites here for the way you engage with this. And everything I say is an invitation only. Just like everything at Weird Church, you are welcome as you are to participate as much or as little as feels good for you. And so just a note about language before we start. When we speak of God at Weird Church, we invite you into whatever concept of God, spirit, higher power is the most resonant for you. The path is wide and you are welcome. And the voice you are hearing is mine. I'm Ingrid. I'm the minister at Weird Church. I'm ordained in the United Church of Canada, so I tend to look at the world through those lenses, but it is my honor and privilege to host a community where the wisdom and tradition of all is celebrated and welcomed. We're going to move through several chapters. During our time together, you can pause between them, come back to your favorites, fast forward through the things you don't like. Before we get started, too, I want to just acknowledge that where I am is Kwakwaliwak territory, the land of what is collectively now known as the Comox First Nation. And just want to make clear to the ancestors past, present, and future that we're here to be on the land as a church in a new way, in a decolonizing and reconciling way, to be honest about the past and try to move forward in a good way. And so wherever you are, maybe you're on the same territory as me, or maybe you're not, just take a moment to give thanks to the land, the watershed, and the ancestors of the place you're in. As a way of getting started, I'm going to invite you, wherever you are, to take your two hands as you are able and place them in front of you in a sort of cup, as though you are about to dip them into a wonderful fresh stream of water and take a slurp. With your hands in a cup, I invite you to just notice you have this little receptacle here. And we're going to get ready to do a little journey together. And there's probably a few things you need to let go of or put down before we get started. And so if there's something that's bouncing around in your mind, I invite you to imagine it being placed into your cup can. Maybe it's your shopping list for after you're done. Maybe it is you're waiting on test results. Maybe a loved one is waiting to have a baby. Whatever's on your mind, imagine it. Maybe it's spiky and pokey and sharp. Maybe it's smooth and round. Maybe it's heavy. Maybe it's light. Maybe there's a whole collection of things you'd like to put in your hands. Just place them in there. See them, feel their weight. And then on any nearby surface, side table, floor, ground, stump, you just put them there for later. You don't need to leave them there forever. You can pick them back up on your way out or when you're finished. Just know that they're there if you need them. You might decide to only pick up a few, but maybe we'll just leave them here for a minute. We're going to take a few minutes to just ground our whole selves into the present moment. And so let's start with our breath. Taking a deep breath in and letting it out. Let's do that one more time. Breathing in, letting go. Let your breath go a little bit deeper as it starts to return to normal. See if you can make it not so high up in your chest, but just a little bit lower. Allowing your vagus nerve to just hit the reset button. And as you're breathing, if you are a seeing person, I'm going to invite you to use your eyes to look around. Maybe you're in an environment that you are really familiar with, or maybe you're not. But I'm going to invite you into beyond looking, really into a time of seeing. If you're in the forest, I invite you to take a notice of the different textures and depths and colors in the forest. If you're in your own living room, it may be a really familiar surrounding, but what can you see? Don't look for dust or dust bunnies. What can you really take a look at and see in a new way? With your eyes attuned, can we do the same with our ears, like little radio dials, tuning in, honing in to the signals around us? Maybe if you have earbuds in, you want to take one out. And instead of just hearing, let's really listen to what's around us. Maybe now you'd like to turn your attention to your ears, your wonderful, to your sense of smell, your nose. Take a big whiff. What do you smell? Are there memories that are evoked from that smell? Can you recognize what you smell? Anything surprising? And lastly, I invite you to reach out and touch. Maybe you're just going to touch yourself. Maybe you can touch whatever is closest to you. Just if you are able, allow the sensations on your fingertips to really caress something and feel it in a new way. If you have been joining us and moving across the land, I'll invite you to find just a place where you can pause. If you're inside, you might want to take off your shoes or socks. No matter where you are, I invite you to wiggle your toes as you are able and feel your 2 feet firmly on the ground. Notice your connection to the earth. We're going to do a little body prayer here. So hold your hands in prayer position in front of your heart. Take a nice big breath. Now raise your hands right above your head if you can, with your palms facing outward, reaching up to the sky, and breathe. Now wiggle your fingers like little sparkles, bringing them slowly down beside your sides, remembering to breathe as you do. We're going to do this a few times together. Hands in prayer position in front of your heart, and breathe. You take your hands heavenward as you take a big deep breath. Notice a sensation in your body. Wiggling your fingers, let your arms float gently back down beside your body. Let's do it again. Hands in prayer, up to the sky, floating down, back to neutral. Do it again. Notice how the body feels in each pose, breathing, savoring your body's movement. Hands in prayer. up to the sky, palms open, reaching and flowing down beside you. Maybe you'd like to take a moment to express gratitude for your body, however it is, and the breath that connects you to your movement. If you have been moving and you feel like moving again, I invite you to continue to cross the land. We're going to move into this chapter of waiting. In the Christian tradition, we're in a time of waiting, the Advent season. It does not mean impatient waiting, but rather waiting with expectation, waiting with purpose, waiting with our sights set on hope and peace and joy and love as verbs, action words. Right now the days are short, and darkness creeps into our evenings so early, and it just won't let go of our mornings, and the start of the day can seem dim and heavy. I want to share a poem with you called Let Evening Come by Jane Kenyon. It's about not being afraid to welcome the darkness, the evening, the challenge, because it is not one-dimensional. Let Evening Come by Jane Kenyon. Let the light of the late afternoon shine through chinks of the barn, moving up the bales as the sun moves down. Let the cricket take up chafing as a woman takes up her needles and her yarn. Let evening come. Let dew collect on the hoe abandoned in long grass. Let the stars appear and the moon disclose her silver horn. Let the fox go back to its sandy den. Let the wind die down. Let the shed go black inside. Let evening come. To the bottle in the ditch, to the scoop in the oats, to the air in the lung, let evening come. Let it come as it will, and don't be afraid. God does not leave us comfortless, so let evening come. In her book, theologian Barbara Brown Taylor writes, the book is called Learning to Walk in the Dark. She writes, "The night sky will heal me, not just by reassuring me that I will be just fine, but by reminding me of my place in the universe." Can you bring into your mind a time when you saw an amazing night sky? Maybe it's right now. Maybe it's from your childhood. Maybe it's when Granny let you snooze on the porch in the summertime. Holding that memory, can you let yourself receive whatever feelings are aroused in you? Can you let them float in, receive them, notice them, and then let them float out in the silence? With that fresh memory in your mind, I want to invite you into a time of touch. If you are walking, it might be a nice time to find a place to pause again. If you are in a place where you can, you might want to sit or even lie down. Take a few moments to find your spot. Pause the recording if you need to. And as you settle into your position, breathe deeply. Allow your hand, if possible, to explore different parts of your body, maybe your shoulder, your elbow, your other hand, maybe your lovely neck or your sweet feet. As your hand becomes an explorer, focus on blessing and soothing and generating compassion for yourself. Take some time to explore and bless and soothe parts of your body. I invite you to place your hand over your heart and just hold it there. As you do so, breathe and notice the energy generated between your heart and your hand. Pay attention to what is happening in that exchange. This place is the center of your being, your love and compassion. Be aware of all that beautiful juju happening in there. Give thanks for the love that you receive and the love that you give. Now I invite you to move your hand to your forehead or the top of your head and just hold it there. Feel the energy. Notice. This is a great place of insight and thought and connection with the divine. What do you notice? Give thanks for the presence of Spirit. Next, I invite you to move your hand to your solar plexus just above your navel and rest it there. Feel the energy of your center, the energy emanating from this place of action and movement, the energy at the core of who you are. Give thanks for the gift of your being in the world. We need you. We want you here. When you're ready, move your hand back up to your heart. Feel tenderness and self-compassion. If those are hard, ask for healing and wholeness for your whole self. Ponder what blessing you need most today. Can you offer that to your own self? We can give thanks for the gift of touch. Healthy, loving, compassionate touch. Let's carry on with that gratitude. If you're walking, I invite you to move again. If you're inclined, and just no matter where you are, I invite you to think of something just tiny, just so small and seemingly insignificant, but not insignificant, that you feel grateful for right now. And then drawing out a little bit, what about something that's like medium-sized that you can feel grateful for? Pulling out as wide as the cosmos, what is some humongous, ginormous thing that you can be grateful for today? As you get ready to finish this time today, remember to be gentle with yourself, to practice care and self-compassion, to take it easy as you transition from this time of reflection into whatever comes next. And as you do, remember that you are loved. Oh, are you ever loved? You are loved such a ridiculous, almost unimaginable amount. There is nothing you can do that will ever damage or destroy that love. There is nothing you can do that will ensure that love gets any bigger and bolder and better than it already is, because you are loved at the absolute maximum. Remember that you to our precious child of God. You are a child of the universe, and you are beautiful. You are beautiful to behold. Amen.